morning. Hi, I'm here too. I don't know if you can hear, there's a train in the background, but I'll keep going. I'm here to spill the tea. Again, this is coffee, but again, we'll pretend it's tea for the sake of spilling it. Also, if you heard a little, that was Kirby sniffing around the camera. Kirby is here to say hello. Come here, you wanna say hi? Say hello. Say hi, everybody. Oh, thank you. Kirby has been, Kirby made a big stride last night. Kirby actually, he usually sleeps in our bed, but last night, Kirby, we put his own bed into, we usually keep it in the kitchen, but we put his bed into the bedroom, and Kirby actually slept a lot in his own bed, and we were really proud of him because he has some pretty hardcore abandonment issues and hardcore separation anxiety, so it was a pretty big deal. I haven't decided what I'm gonna spill the tea on yet, so we're in, oh, bumped his head on the table. We're in this together right now. Can I take a drink of my coffee, please? You want some coffee? I don't think you want some coffee. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, you do want some coffee. So I haven't decided what I want to spill the tea on, whether it be something about Los Angeles and living in Los Angeles so that you all can experience it with me, or yesterday I had an experience. I think I'm more excited about the second one, even though I'm not sure how much I want to tell. Yesterday I had my first audition for an agency, which was super cool. They reached out to me and said that they saw my profile on an acting website. That's a whole other thing, by the way. I'll spill the tea on that sometime. But that they wanted me to audition after seeing my profile, so I went, and it was a cold read audition, and for those of you who don't know he's bored. For those of you who don't know what a cold read is, it means you don't get the reading, whatever it is in the audition, you don't get it ahead of time. You have to get it pretty much right when you arrive. You get it, you look it over, and then you do your best. You try to look up as much as possible. But so, you know, you don't want them to be seeing the top of your head the whole time, because that's not really much of an audition. And so you try to look up as much as you can. So you've got to like kind of lightly memorize it as best you can. This was like a freezing cold read because I didn't get it when I checked in at the location we were auditioning. I waited out in a hallway with some people, and usually auditions here are pretty one-on-one. Like you'll audition in front of one on 4 or 5, I guess. You'll audition in front of a panel of people, usually like the casting director and the director and, you know, maybe the DP, director of photography. It kind of depends. The production, you know, you never know. But you're usually auditioning in front of a couple of people, but it's just you. Well, yesterday at this audition, I checked in and I was like standing outside the room. The door was open where people were auditioning for this agency, because it wasn't an open call, like not everyone could show up, but they had selected several people. I would say upwards of 50, maybe. No, definitely upwards of 50, maybe more like 100. But they were clearly reading a cold read, and I didn't know where this cold read was that I could learn. Do you want to get down? You keep shifting here. I'm gonna put you down now. Thank you. Good boy. So I was watching people perform this cold read from outside in the hallway, and I was like, okay, well, I have no idea where that is, so cool. And then they kind of ushered some people into the room, and I went into the room, and there's a whole, like, all of the people who are auditioning are sitting in there in like folding chairs. There's like 25, 30 people in there watching all of the auditions and feeling like panicked because they're like, oh, I have to focus and learn my cold read, but I also want to watch all these auditions and be a good audience member, and it was so weird. It would have been less weird if it was in like a theater or an auditorium space, but they're like packed into a studio room, so it was weird. It was very intimate, and it was a lot of people, and basically they would call you up and you'd hand off your headshot and your resume and this form you were supposed to have filled out to the table of agents, and you already had the cold read, like you did get it in the room, but you had to sit there and look at it and then go perform it. So you would take your cold read and yada yada yada. You hand off your stuff, you go up, you take your cold read, and a lot of people would start reading, and at sometimes they would shout out random directions. For a lot of guys, they would say, oh, think military, and all of a sudden they'd have to perform it as if they were in the military. Like, they'd start reading it their own way, and then they would say, okay, think military, or think surfer dude, or think gang member. I think a couple of girls got think cheerleader. I forget who else. I heard cheerleader happen a lot. Because they were trying to type people, trying to figure out where they could cast them. You know, there's only so many, they get breakdowns, and certain characters will pop up, and they're like, okay, well, whichever actors we know we can get a lot of work for, we'll make sure that they are, you know, seen for that particular role we kind of see them as. So I got up and started reading. I didn't get think cheerleader. I got think crazy stalker ex-girlfriend. And I was like, oh good, that's the vibe that I give off. I did it. I read like the crazy stalker ex-girlfriend. I had the head bobbing and the eye twitching and the confrontational tone and everything. But I was inwardly dying hysterically. Because I was just like, I was wanting to laugh so hard. Because when I walked into the room and walked up to audition, they were like, she definitely looks like the crazy stalker ex-girlfriend. And I've never been more flattered in my life. So that was my first agency audition. I have no idea how it went. I won't know until probably later today if I'm asked to go to the meeting for tomorrow. There's like an introductory meeting. But they said they're only accepting 5% of the people they had audition, so it's pretty up in the air, but I thought I'd spill the tea on that because it was really fun. Yeah. Sorry this took so long. I don't like long videos, so I don't blame you if you stopped watching 2 minutes in. I just had a Kirby that was needing some love, so anyway. I hope you have a happy Thursday. It's Thursday, that's right. Have a happy Thursday.